Hey, welcome back to another devlog. Sorry if I sound extremely nasally. Allergies have been kicking my ass recently. But we're back with another devlog. Yeah, these are gonna be coming much less frequently than I would like, but college and work have been taking a lot of time, and I haven't had that much time to work on my game, unfortunately. But we're still making progress, which is the important thing. So, I kind of just want to show you guys what I've been working on. There's not much to see here because most of it actually activates whenever you start the game. Surprising, I know. But yeah, let's get into it. I don't remember exactly how much I had made and like demoed last time. I think I had in the last demo I had a decent bit of this all like functional. Like maybe I think I had the boxes. I the firewall before, the heat field, the checkpoints, and maybe those functional, but I didn't have any of the particle effects or actually visuals. Also, I replaced the firewall with a laser because that and those two were too similar. So yeah, we'll just work our way around this room then. Starting with this, it's just a box. It's a box that falls on a specific axis. It's not that complex. It'll be useful for puzzle making though. These are, I call them impetus conversion fields. Fancy talk for they change the direction you move in. So if you fall into this, then it reorients your momentum with the direction that they're facing, and so you can kind of bounce around on them. But if you're not moving very fast, then they only barely affect you. So that's kind of how those work. The checkpoints work exactly as before, or they should. I actually haven't demoed them in a while, so I hope this works. Yep, checkpoints work. Heat field, I pretty much just added particle effects to this, so it's not just an orange box. Same thing happens though, you touch it, you start taking damage. And it is very obvious whenever you are taking damage. This I replaced with the firewall, just because I thought lasers would be cooler. Don't kill me, please. Thank you. Oh yeah, you can pick up boxes now. This wasn't a thing before. Pick up boxes, physics objects, whatever. And it does... Well, I touched the laser. Ow. But yeah, you touch the laser, you die. It does react to things getting in the way, so that'll be useful for all that as well. You can respawn the boxes. Yeah, interactable buttons as per usual. Step on them, or if I come over here and grab a box, this will also do the thing. Do the funny. Those two also are the same. This one just has a light. I'll get to that in a bit. This one is just to show that they do work, even with the weird gravity. Hang on, I want to see if I can catch this. Yep. So, okay, I'll get to the drone now. This is a drone, follows you around wherever you're looking, and shoots at you. You can also hold the energy orbs, though they are very erratic, kind of by design, because I mean they are high energy balls, kind of like electrons around an atom. They don't like to hold still, so you kind of force them, and then you can... Here, I'll do this. You can throw them back at stuff, so if I throw them into this field, then they will also be affected by it and will bounce back and forth. And then the drone just kind of shoots at you. I guess that brings us back around to two other things that I have, but there's a lot of orbs around. I'm gonna move away from this thing so it stops shooting at me. Okay, but this brings us to the two abilities that the player has. That being the gravity well and the cluster quintessence ability. So I'll explain this one later. There's a lot of... I had to do a lot of research on physics and space science to get this one's theory working, but this one's pretty obvious if you know a decent bit about like dark matter theories and stuff like that. So essentially the part of the lore of this game is that you have the ability to control or at least produce dark matter. That's why you can, change gravity at will, is because your body's always producing a essentially dark matter field, which gives a gravitational field that is oriented to your body. So you can do that. So with this, essentially, the player is just condensing dark matter in one spot, creating a big gravity like bubble, essentially. Creating a gravity well. And so, here. I dropped it. Okay, I'll get a box. I was going to try and put the orb in it. We'll go back to the drone later, though. But yes, this does work with these. It wouldn't be much of a bubble if it didn't. You can pick them up with them, stuff like that. You can also put this on there and then put the box in there. And it will hold the box onto that. So you can go and do other stuff and it'll still keep that door open or that button pressed down, which is going to be really useful for puzzle making purposes. And then also, it does interact with the, if I'm in range, with the orbs the drone shoots out. It sucks them in. And this is kind of a, like, how would you call that? A interaction that I wanted these to have is that you can essentially trap a bunch of energy orbs in that, drop them, and then pick them up and shoot them back at the drone or at whatever, which is kind of cool. And then I think that's about all the interactions with that. Just going to be really useful for like puzzle making and whatever. It's going to be an ability you unlock partway through the game. And it does hit things. And then that brings us to this, which is the clustered quintessence. Lore behind this is well, I guess I didn't fully explain this. The lore is that the player has the ability to produce dark matter and dark energy. Kind of like the normal human body produces matter in the form of just you growing and existing, and it produces energy via heat. The protagonist's body produces dark matter and dark energy as well. And so, I guess let's actually get into the science of how this works, or the theoretical science, because it is literally just a theory that I made up. But essentially, there are a couple different theories for dark energy, all of which entail that dark energy is the driving force behind the universe's expansion. One of the theories is called the lambda theory, which is where whenever space expands because of dark energy, new dark energy pops into existence in between where the areas in space had expanded, if that makes sense. So as space expands, dark energy pops in to keep a completely uniform and constant amount of dark energy pretty much throughout the entire universe. So essentially, per area of space, even if that space spans, there will always still be as much dark energy there as there was before it expanded. So as space continues to expand, more is popping into existence to keep that uniformity. Whereas the theory that this game uses is called the quintessence theory. Essentially what that means is the dark energy is going to act as a particle rather than essentially a constant field through the universe. So let me regain my train of thought. So essentially the dark energy would act as a particle, making it essentially the fifth essential particle of the universe, quintessential, Quint is in 5, essential. It's the 5th essential particle of the universe. And it would act much like matter, or not matter, it would act like any other particle where there's a certain amount of it in the universe. And so as the universe expands, it kind of dilutes. Think of it like, I don't know what a good example would be, but just as the universe expands, the amount of quintessence would, or the density of quintessence would decrease as well. And so as using that theory, we can make it so that since quintessence acts like a particle instead of just a constant field, we can have the player condense or cluster a bunch of quintessence together to make something like this, where in this area, because it's clustered, this area of space is expanding more drastically and faster than any area around it, because that's kind of what quintessence or dark energy does, is it expands space. And so what you can do with that is, because this area of space is expanding faster than normal, essentially as the player or anything else would try to travel into it, they are having more and more space to have to travel through, meaning it takes, as you get closer and closer to the center, it takes longer and longer to get to, which produces kind of a visual pushing force, even though technically it's not pushing you. It's just you're having to travel more and more space as you get closer to the center, so it takes longer and longer. And the effect is essentially a pushing force. AKA, a lot of theory, a lot of science in order to make an effect that's literally just an explosion type force. But it's still really cool that that kind of lines up like that, that you can have the theory, and based off of how all of this works, if something were to be able to cluster quintessence like this, it should function very similar to this. Perhaps not exactly. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't code this bubble to work as if space is expanding. I literally just made it push you away because it's very similar effect, and that would take a lot more work to try and figure out how to model space expanding. But enough talk. That's essentially how this works. It works very similar, or actually it works the complete opposite of the gravity well, in that it repels everything that gets near. So like all this stuff, you can push away. It's also quite aggressive. I might tone down the aggressiveness, but I don't have quite this working because it's supposed to push it a little bit more than that. Like if I do that, yeah, there we go. So if you put it right on it, but I do want it to be a bit more aggressive than that. You can like hold that there and have it get launched. This would just be used also for puzzle purposes, like say you want to hold those things in that corner. Well, if you do it right, you kind of have to line it up. All that stuff does not. Okay, well, I guess I need to fine tune this one, but it could also just be used for general puzzle purposes, like blocking projectiles from a drone, or making sure certain things don't move. I'm sure there's clever ways to use it. I haven't really thought of any yet, but if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them on how this could be used in puzzles. Yeah, I mean, outside of that, I've added more sound effects such as jumping, moving, walking around, box collisions. There's sounds for the fire, which I didn't make myself. Credits to the, I'm gonna have their credits in the game. I don't remember their name right now, but I got these assets off the Unity asset store for free. Thank you very much for that. They made the particles and the sounds and all that, so that's appreciated. The only thing I'm not sure about is how this looks. I kind of just made the particle effect really quickly. I do like the hazing effect from that VFX, but I'm not sure how I feel about the really cheap just thing on the outside. But other than that, I'm liking how this is coming along. Again, it is coming along slowly, but why did that just close? I do not want to reload my lab data. Hang on, okay. We're back. My gosh, I don't know why that opened. But yeah, other than that, this is coming along pretty well. I hope you like the ideas that I'm putting out. Sorry for the 3-year-long explanation of how this works, but it is pretty complicated space science-y stuff that is hard to explain in just words. But I hope it made some sense. And I hope you do enjoy what I'm putting out here, and that you will at least try this game. I'm hoping to have it out for free, preferably. I really don't see why I would put it up for money, because I don't really want it to be put up for money. I kind of just want people to experience these ideas that I'm putting out. But yeah. If you have any suggestions for the game, I will gladly take them. If you have any thoughts or whatever, don't hesitate to comment. Really. I mean, other than that, I don't have much else to say. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you in the next one, whatever that is.